It's below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube guys. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. And we are joined today by Justin Belmont. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your first time here, isn't it?
Yeah, the first time on your show.
Oh, nice. Well,
but
welcome.
Actually, I've met you before. You were on my birthday special.
Oh!
Justin Belmont's 16th birthday bash special, whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you came on like towards the end of the stream.
Yeah, there was a bunch of us.
But I was never on your stream before, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Right on. So welcome to the show. I like to start off by doing getting to know the creator more, get to know the creator better, and do more or less like the origin story. So I'd love for you to share, what were you into when you're growing up? Say, be it cartoons, comics, movies, toys, cartoons, and what were the major milestones that led you down this path to becoming your own independent creator?
I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I used to wake up Saturday mornings watching, Smurfs, stuff like Transformers, GoBots. I had a Teddy Ruxpin. I remember my mom got me.
Oh, you got one of those?
You remember those?
Yeah.
Those are worth a fortune now if you have one of those.
I know. They kind of creep me out, though.
Yeah. Everybody used to always take a different kind of tape and put it in them, see what he says.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And I basically got into comics when I was about 15. At first, I was just a little league kid. We used to go to the comic book shop just to get baseball cards. That's what I was into, baseball cards. But when you go to get baseball cards, I started to notice the comic books on the rack. I never bought them at first, but I just saw them. The covers, captivated me. I looked at them. And I remember one of the first books I ever saw was a Punisher cover by Joe Jusko. And it was the Punisher. He was in a snowmobile. And there was like guys like skiing or some shit like in the background with Uzis like shooting at him. And I don't remember what issue number that is, but that's the one I remember clearly when I was a kid. So I was in the store and I just noticed that. I'm like, comics are pretty cool. So, but I didn't buy one at that point. But later on, I ended up buying actually New Mutants 87. That was my first comic book I ever bought. But I didn't buy it off the rack. I think I bought it. It was in a store, like taped to the window in the mall, in the shop. And I bought it for like $7, which was kind of a lot of money back in 1987, whatever year it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first purchase I made. Then I started getting into other comic books. I remember seeing the Turtles, like 8th print for issue 1 on the shelf. And then I remember seeing Namor the Submariner with Jay Lee's artwork. And I really loved his work. And he's still one of my favorite artists to this day. And I always wanted to get like a Jay Lee cover, like Ethan Van Sciver got him for Cyberfog. That was my dream a long time ago. So I bet you it was him too. It's probably like everybody who ever wanted to make a comic book's dream,
Yeah.
But, so right around the time I got into comics, around 15, 16, I also got into marijuana. And I always liked to draw, sketch, and stuff like that. So we were just high one day, and I was just sketching in a book. And then I came up with SMOKES. It was just a headshot. And then I added a pipe. And then I was like, the pipe needed something. So I put a little X on there. X for Brand X company pipe. And I thought it'd be easy to read from far away. Something simple, just an X. and then kind of tucked it away for a while. But then when I would go to a convention or something, I would draw a headshot of Smokes, and then in pencil on a backing board, like we get, a comic book backing board. And then I would bring it to the convention, and I would ask an artist if they would ink it for me. And actually, I got David Lapham and the late Tom Lyle to ink a couple of Smokes headshots, and I still have those pieces.
Really?
And I was actually going to ask Tom Lyle's widow if she would give me permission to put that in the book. So
Wow.
I might still do that. I might reach out to her because I know she controls his Facebook now. And it was a long time ago. I was like 15 years old, a little kid. So he can't say no to a little kid. So that's how I got him to do it. And it was one of my favorite memories, as a kid. You can go up to these artists and you can get anything when you're a kid. They'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
Those were the magic days. You know what I mean?
Oh man, you figured it out early on.
Yeah. But then when I started collecting comic books, I bought Namor because of Jay Lee, and I didn't care about the character. I only liked the artwork. And then I started getting into Valiant stuff, the classic 90s Valiant, Archer and Armstrong. Barry Windsor Smith is my favorite artist of all time.
Oh.
And I knew when I was 15 years old when I first saw his artwork. I think it was the Bloodshot cover, I believe. Bloodshot 1, that chromium cover, whatever it was, hologram. And I knew he was a genius when I was like 15. I knew there was something different about Barry Windsor Smith. And if anybody knows artwork, he's an artistic genius. But I knew that immediately just by seeing the cover when I was a young kid. And I still do love his artwork. He just came out with that new book, Monsters. I don't know if you picked it up. It's a really big one. He worked on it for 35 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he delivered this hardcover book. It's called Monsters.
Monsters. Okay.
For that long, yeah. He had a signed edition that sold out, but he's my favorite artist. So I used to collect a lot of Valiant stuff. Big into Bob Layton. Who else? Mark Silvestri, and I got into Image stuff. Then I liked the independent stuff too, because back then there was a big indie scene. So I liked stuff like Cerebus,
right.
Concrete. Remember Concrete?
Oh yeah, Concrete.
Madman. Remember Madman?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he had like that gun that shoots those little stupid plastic discs. Remember? It was all quirky. Remember? Those guns that shoot those stupid little plastic discs?
Yeah, I used to have one.
yeah, you remember those? Yeah. You don't remember Madman?
I don't remember Madman though.
What about Concrete? You remember Concrete?
Yeah, vaguely. I mean, I remember seeing the book on the shelves, but
you remember everybody and their mother had their own IP back then. It was a big scene. And
yeah,
I
it
think
did get pretty big for a while there.
Yeah, I think it's come full circle now. It's back again. It might even be bigger than it was before. We're looking at like a golden age, like a renaissance, the Wild West, EVS said. The gold rush, whatever you want to call it. I think, the mainstream media is on its way out, and, the indie market is only growing bigger and stronger every day. It's just another, how long until the next person joins Comicsgate? How long until we get stronger? Now, pretty soon it's going to get so big that no one can say anything about our group.
Yeah.
We're so diverse, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I'm sick of hearing the shit about Comicsgate. These are some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I'll be honest with you. I got people retweeting me. I got people posting my links in the chats. I got people hailing me. I got people treating me like royalty. And I never, they're treating me better than my own family, even some people I met online. And they're trying to say Comicsgate's a bunch of people that hate. I'm just sick of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm just sick of hearing about it.
But, yeah. Especially that the Wikipedia entry. that's garbage.
Has anybody edited that and changed it, or they keep changing it?
It doesn't look like it's editable anymore. I think they locked it out for editing. So even if we wanted to, I don't think there's any way we could do that unless we could reach out.
No, they fucked with Mike Barron's fucking Wikipedia, and I think Mike said they went in there and they edited it. So I don't know. It's possible, but they always change it back anyway.
Hopefully, yeah. Welcome, Killy Chow. Hey, everybody.
Keely, what's up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Hashtag proper raid.
I was going into a little rant.
Welcome. Hey, good stuff, Comics Gaiter. Good to have you. Miss Raina. Hey, Justin, just want to drop in and quickly say hi. Right on. Welcome, everyone. If you happen to back this book during the stream, be sure and drop in your backer number in the chat. Yeah, so you were a real big fan of comics apparently, and you got to know, at least identify your favorite creators.
Yeah, I even joined this comic book club, and we actually went on a few trips. I remember we went to Toronto with my friend's dad, and I actually met Dale Keown when I was like 14 or 15 years old.
Really?
Yeah, it was the only time I've ever met him.
Oh man!
And I still got the stuff. I got like my Pit poster signed that came inside Wizard magazine. I remember, and then I also got Pit 1, signed, of course. And I wish I asked him for a sketch. I still to this day regret as a little kid I didn't ask him for like a sketch. He probably would have because I was a little kid. You know what I mean? But I never did. I never did. That's my one regret. But I actually ended up getting some pieces from Dale Keown over the years that I bought at auction. But
wow,
I think he's one of the best art for Hulk. He is the best Hulk, the definitive artist for Hulk. Period. Period. Just a brilliant artist. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This comic book has been in the back of my head, WyzGyz, for a long time, since I've been a little boy. Since I smoked my first hit of weed, I've wanted this comic book, and it just kept eating at me over the years. And then in 2018, in November, we had this thing called RockyCon. It's a little tiny convention, but they usually get like one good guest. Like they had like Larry Hama one year, and then they had Michael Golden one year.
Oh, wow.
And then Mike Barron is always like a guest there because it's in his backyard. He doesn't live too far away. So I'd met him before, but I've never pitched my idea for a comic book. So in 2018, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to pitch my idea and see if I can get him to write my comic. Because if I come out with a comic book, if I'm going to spend all this money on these artists, my script's going to be shit if I do it myself. I've never made a comic book. I've read comic books, but I never made my own. I would probably butcher it. Who better than to get Mike Barron? And, Mike Barron even wrote some Archer and Armstrong stuff, and I know him from the Valiant days, as well as Punisher. So he was like the perfect person. And then I thought he smoked weed, but I wasn't sure. And then I found out he actually smokes weed. So he was actually, he told me he was born to do this comic book.
Really?
And yes.
Born to do this.
In his whole career, he's never really written a comic book, just about pot smoking or whatever. But the comic book's not just about pot smoking. That's what everybody thinks it's about. But it's actually a very evolved story. And when you read Weaponized Werewolf and Smokes together, you get a full picture of the story. So there's some things you don't get until you read Weaponized Werewolf. So you want to read Smokes first, then get into Weaponized Werewolf, then you get this complete picture of everything. And then the whole thing's gonna end after you read both of them. Then you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I want more. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on the more. So I was talking to Mike at a convention. We went to this convention called the Wicked West Comic Expo last weekend. And it was a really small convention, the first one. And I just spent the weekend at Mike's table, and we discussed Smokes 2. And
you just hung out with him during the show at his table?
Yeah, I helped him, sell some books and kept him company, stuff like that. So he doesn't have to sit there all day. And I don't live far away from him, so that's why.
Oh wow, jeez.
We might do another show together as well. So in our neck of the woods.
Cool.
We'll see if we can hook it up.
Well, that's nice.
But you want to pull up the campaign or something?
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a sec. Without doxing or anything, what state are you guys in?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm in Denver. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we've got Smokes the Fox number 1, Weaponized Werewolf number 0.
Actually, refresh that.
Let me get over there. Do 6135. Nice.
Yeah, someone picked up an epic bundle earlier today, so thanks to whoever that was.
Sweet. And so did Mike actually write both of these books?
Yeah, Mike wrote both of them. So what happened is I told Mike I had this idea for this comic, and then I wanted to get Don Perlin to draw the cover. And I don't know if you're familiar with Don Perlin, but he worked for Valiant, and he used to do Ghost Rider before that, and Werewolf by Night, stuff like that, Moon Knight.
Oh, all right.
And he's the creator of Moon Knight, or the co-creator. And he's also the co-creator of Bloodshot. So what I did is I got Bob Layton and Don Perlin to do this cover you're looking at right here. And those guys are the creators of Bloodshot. So I got a kind of like a Valiant theme going. You got Mike Barron. And then I also got Rodney Ramos doing the inks on both these books. And he was also, in Valiant back in the 90s. So it's kind of like a small Valiant reunion, classic Valiant reunion, this book. And Don Perlin used to draw this comic book called Bad Eggs for Valiant. Not a lot of people remember it. It's these dinosaurs, and they talk. It was kind of like that show Dinosaurs. You remember that on TGIF? But it was like the comic book version of that. It didn't really last long, so I knew Don Perlin had it in him. That kind of humor. So I thought he'd be perfect for the cover. And also he likes motorcycles because he was the artist of Ghost Rider. And Mike Barron's a big on bikes. He actually has his own motorcycle. He's had a motorcycle his whole life. He's really big on biking. So he wanted to put the bike in the comic book because he knew that Don Perlin was going to draw the cover. And then he also added the werewolf character to the book because he knew that Don Perlin used to draw Werewolf by Night. So after he told me he was going to put this werewolf in there, all he put for the description was Bernie Wrightson style werewolf. So I came up with this whole weaponized werewolf name, and then I went and found this woman, and I thought she draws these really cool werewolves. I handpicked her out a bunch of artists, and I had her make a model sheet, and then I got this cool werewolf, and I was like, he has to be different than these other werewolves. So I gave him a bracelet, and this bracelet actually has a tracking device on it, and it drones actually track him. So he's got weaponized drones from the military, and later on there will be armed drones. So he's very different than other werewolves. And also he doesn't transform by the moon. He's half man, half wolf, made in the lab. He's always like this. So those are the differences. Those are the big differences between my werewolf and the other guys.
Okay.
And I thought that Smokes needed a little bit more. So I actually so that's what how Weaponized Werewolf came about. And then I asked Mike again, would you want to write, a 12-page story? And he said, yeah. And I gave him an idea of what I was thinking. And he changed it a little bit. So it was kind of like a collaboration. And then he finished it up pretty quick in like a week or something. He's really fast. I mean, I've seen him write a page at the table once, a page of a comic book in about, 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And, it's probably brilliant too. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not crap.
Yeah.
Sounds like everything Mike writes.
Right. What's that?
Everything he writes is gold. I haven't read anything by him that I didn't really care for or anything.
That's pretty impressive, and that does sound like it's pretty dang fast.
But we just hit our stretch goal the other day. So we hit 6K. So everybody gets the sticker by 6 a.m. The smoke sticker.
Nice.
Now I want to unlock the next stretch goal, which is the weaponized werewolf sticker. And that's a really cool one by 6 a.m. He did a great job.
Yeah, I like 6 a.m.'s work. So how did Smokes the Fox get to issue number 1 and Weaponized Werewolf is still at 0?
Well, Weaponized Werewolf is the prequel to Smokes, you can say.
Oh, all right.
And I wanted to introduce another character, and I thought it would be cool to have two separate comics instead of one big comic. And another reason was I can actually get more done at once. I can have one artist working on Smokes, and then I had the other artist working on Weaponized Werewolf. You know, in theory, I would get done faster. You know what I mean? So that's another reason. And I thought my campaign is going to be different. I'm going to have two comics, and they're written by Mike Barron. And I thought, you know, that would be a good selling point, you know, and get a lot of people, you know, excited to back the project. And then getting all these old school names. I don't think anybody from Comicsgate's ever got, you know, Gerhard to do anything for them, or Bob Layton or Don Perlin. I got Don Perlin out of retirement. He's 90 years old. He's not drawing comics anymore. I mean, once in a while he draws commissions, but other than that, this is going to be the last published cover of probably of his career.
Unless you get him in for another one.
Maybe I can get him off. Maybe I can get him to get on the drawing table and do one more.
That would be pretty sweet. Dang.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I used to talk to him a lot. We talked on Facebook phone a couple of times. Right. I actually bought some art. I bought some artwork from him.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So this is showing 2 days left. Are you going with the model 30 days of funding, another 30 days of funding, and then in demand?
The second month is this is the second month right now.
Okay, all right.
And
so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in demand for a little bit. I think I've been thinking about it. Yeah.
Did you already set it up in the back end to, you know, turn over to in demand?
Yeah, the box is checked, and I contacted Indiegogo just to be 1,000% sure that I have it right. I don't want to even take a chance.
That's smart.
But I'm not going to keep it in demand forever or anything like that.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm trying to hit this next stretch goal at 7K. I think we can hit 7K.
How long are you thinking in terms of in demand? Couple months, a couple.
I want to get these books in your hands by the end of August, so not that long. That's my goal. So that's why it says, if you look at the estimated date, it says August, because the both books are done. The lettering, the coloring, pencils, everything. I just have to get the print files together, which I'm doing right now. The credits pages are being developed right now. We just made the back covers yesterday, so those are done. And then once he's done with the credit pages, I'm gonna, you know, maybe put a couple ads in there. And I have a pinup that we're adding to it that's gonna be colored next week. So nothing's slowed down or anything like that. Everything's gonna be right on time.
Wow.
And, the stickers are already made. All I gotta do is put the order in, how many I need. And so I want it to be completed. I'm a new guy. I don't want to, let's say, you know, it's 20% completed. Start, you know, backing me and look like I'm a, you know, I want to make sure everybody knows they're going to get their book and they're going to get it on time. I'm going to try to damn well get it to you guys on time. That's my goal. I mean, there is things that might get in the way, like the paper shortages. And now I'm hearing that people aren't getting printed because school yearbooks have the priority printing over comic books or something. What is this shit? Are people making this stuff up, or is this for real?
I don't know. I haven't heard that part yet.
Yeah, if something does come up, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I think there is stuff going on with the paper, but I don't think it's like maybe 2-3 week delay or something. It's not forever.
Right.
But who knows? But I think that everybody should have a good comic book in the summer. I remember like some of my, you know, favorite days as a kid, walking to the comic book shop on a nice summer day with a couple of guys, you know, a couple of my friends, and going to the comic book shop and picking up some Valiant comics or some Image stuff. I remember those are some fun times. So I think getting a good comic book in your hands, in this case, 2 comics this summer, is a perfect, you know. So
that's a great idea. The challenge, though, for a lot of first-time creators is when you're doing a crowdfunding project, is having the money to pay for your talent. It sounds like you've already addressed all that, paid all the talent up front, and then launch your campaign. Is that more or less how it worked?
Yeah, everybody's paid, so I'm in the hole, and I want to raise just enough money to start working on another issue.
Cool.
And getting a script from Mike Barron is not cheap, and getting good talent to draw your comic book is not cheap.
So
also, you get sometimes they're busy. You got to wait your line and turn in line. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and our good artists are in high demand right now because, like we said before, we're like in a renaissance right now for indie comics. So,
sure, yeah,
good artists are getting snatched up every day. Someone else is putting out a new book. But I've had this dream for a long time, and kind of seeing all these campaigns launching, kind of like put the foot up my ass, to make me actually do this. So everybody's energy, was feeding into me. I was like, is eating at me. I'm like seeing everybody doing these campaigns and becoming successful and, launching their dream comic book. I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get everything done, and then I'm going to launch it. I'm not going to say, it's 20% done. I'll have it done by Christmas and then not have it. Because I had no idea how long it's going to take to make this comic book. It ended up taking me almost 3 years of development. It was mostly waiting. It wasn't always doing something, but just the waiting time adds to the the overall time. So 3 years total, but with a lot of time in between. And I still got to get the books printed. Then I got to buy supplies, some Gemini mailers and shipping. I already got the shipping tape and everything. I got a one of those Rolos thermal printers, so that's all ready to go. I got everything I need, and if I get too many orders, I can always count on RJ and just have him do my fulfillment.
What is the thermal printer going to be used for?
For the labels.
Yeah, all right. Gotcha. Cool. Man, you really did some research and studied how to do a campaign and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I had to look up a lot of stuff. I had to learn how to do like mass mailing using MailChimp or whatever. I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how to use and navigate Indiegogo, which isn't that hard, and then how to create the campaign. I was gonna get a graphic designer, but they wanted close to $1,000 for a campaign design, and I actually have a graphic design degree from back in the days. I'm a little bit rusty, but I actually was able to create the campaign myself and design everything.
Nice.
It's not as good as like a top guy or a guy I would have paid $1,000 to do, but I think I did an all right job, good enough, for my first campaign anyway.
Heck yeah. And a lot of first time campaigns, they're lucky if they pass 2,000. So
yeah, it was kind of a wild card. I wasn't sure if I was gonna, hit like 10 grand maybe or not fund. I wasn't sure because Mike Barron's Thin Blue Line hit 6 figures. When you add up the Indiegogo campaign and the Kickstarter together, it's over 6 figures. So I didn't, but my comic book's completely different. Didn't get national TV attention or anything. So
right,
and no one's ever heard of me.
Yep.
So I didn't know how it was gonna go. How many of Mike's fans were gonna buy my book or whatever? Who Bob Layton fans, Don Perlin fans. It was a wild card. I really didn't know how it was gonna go. So I'm really proud that I actually got what I got right now. I'm thankful for every backer that I have.
Yeah,
you guys made my dream come true. I couldn't do any of this. I got people, making me trailers and skits. Mrs. Good Stuff made me a little trailer. If you go to the next slide, she made maybe this trailer. If you want to play that one, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, the first one is your main trailer, or
yeah, that's the main trailer, and that's if you want to play that one too.
Let's play this one first. We'll just do it in order. Oops. Come on. Nice. Did you make that trailer?
No, I wish. I have no skills in video skills whatsoever.
That was pretty good.
Well, my friend Wendell did the animation part that you see, like the ending part and the part where he's on the motorcycle and that whole scene. And then we actually worked that into the trailer, and Kurt Hathaway did the trailer.
All right.
It was a combined effort of those two. Then we rented out like the music for it, licensed the music.
Okay.
And then I wrote the text. I wrote all the words. And it was so basically a collaboration.
Cool.
The only thing I wish I did with it is that I had some narration.
Oh, okay.
So I recommend anybody's going to do a trailer, even if you got a low budget, you know what I mean? You know, get your friend to do it or whatever. Get it, you know, get a girl to do it or whatever. Your husband, somebody's got a good voice, because I think those trailers are the best ones with the narration on them. But this one's cool too, because it's got Mrs. Good Stuff did this one for me.
Looks like a great book. Oh, and that's you responding back. Nice. Mrs. Good Stuff did this one?
Yeah, she did this for me when I was on their show. Like a promo.
Cool. That's pretty funny with the spring effect, that special effect there.
I like those effects. Those are cool.
Yeah. And on the first trailer, I liked all the little additional sound effects. You know, so you get the scene, the scenery sounds.
Yeah, he has like a disc. What do you have? Like some kind of library, sound effects library.
Gotcha.
Like tens of thousands of sounds. So he like was digging through them looking for the right sound. He told me.
Cool.
You can see the different sizes between the two characters. You can see how Smokes is a little bit, you know, smaller than that werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
That guy right there in the background, that's Colonel Mayberry. And that alien, the alien gray, his name's Sepoy. And that woman, that's Dr. Bird. And
okay.
they're just discussing some things with the alien. And you can see Smokes is locked up at this time.
Uh-huh.
This is later on after he escapes the facility. He runs in some biker gang at a bar in this little town in Colorado. and he's just zerbing. One of the bikers get thrown through the window. What he's doing, actually, he's outside. He's about to steal that bike he's on right there.
No.
So basically, when he was in his cage, he was big into like Sons of Anarchy and American Choppers and stuff like that. Because he had privileges. He was able to watch television. So he liked those kind of shows, and so he was intrigued by that. So when he escapes, he steals one of their hogs because those guys just leave the keys right in their bike. No one's going to steal a bike from one of those biker guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Smokes has the balls to do it, and he actually just swings his leg over the bike and just gets the hell out of there. And that's Colonel Mayberry. You can see that Colonel Mayberry is like using like an optical scanner because it's a very secure facility.
Yeah.
Top of the line, underground. That's Dr. Bird and Mayberry again, and they're putting on their devices. They're not just regular headphones. These are actually communication devices to talk to that alien gray Sepoy. So in this story, it's not like the aliens you hear about on television or in the movies where they can talk to you in your head. In this story, you have to actually wear these devices to communicate with him.
All right.
So that's a little bit different. In this, I just wanted to show off the sky because the colorist did a really good job.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Nice. So, are you expecting every campaign to have an issue of Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf? So, like the next campaign, what do you expect it to be? Smokes number 2 and Weaponized Werewolf number 1?
No, I think it would just be Smokes number 2, but it will be a really big deal. It's going to be I had this idea for a really cool book a really cool idea for issue 2. I pitched it to Mike when I was at the show, and we're still talking about it. But Weaponized Werewolf, I'm going to have to hold off just for a little bit because I don't have the funds to, fund 2 books right now.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to raise a little bit more money, so I can start, buy the script and start working, get the cover made and start working on the next book. But yeah, I will probably get back to Weaponized Werewolf and do a first issue or expand on that 0 issue.
So since you're the creator, you're like the project manager in a sense.
Yeah, the product. Yes.
And you're working with the writer and the artist. What is like the process? I mean, do you write an outline or something and give it to Mike, and then he takes that and fleshes it out, turns it into a full-blown script, and then the artist takes that and interprets it, and then coordinates with you, saying, make sure that they're on the right track of what your vision is?
Well, first you need a title name and a character, and then you need what the story is going to be. So I had a basic concept. I knew it was going to be about Smokes the Fox. I knew it was going to be in an underground facility. I didn't have a name for the underground facility yet, and I knew that he was going to be a genetic experiment, or whatever, created in the lab. And I knew there was going to be aliens in this base. And I knew Smokes was going to have to escape, otherwise the story can't go anywhere. So those things I already knew what was going to happen. But Mike added a lot of the other stuff that happens. I don't want to tell you everything that happens, but
of course.
And then he would come up with some stuff, and I'd be like, maybe not that, because just a couple of things, like when Smoke steals the bike and gets loose, Colonel Mayberry makes the mistake, and he makes the order, and he says, let Weaponized Werewolf loose to go eliminate Smokes. And it's kind of not a good move to have a killer werewolf on the a 7-foot werewolf on the loose, killing everything in his path. So that's kind of how the story starts. And Smokes is on the run, and then in his version, Mike wanted in the original script, in the original first sketch, whatever you want to call it, first version, a weaponized werewolf steals a car and chases Smokes on the motorcycle. And I thought that was, you know, a little bit over the top and a little bit ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous in a fox riding a motorcycle, but being followed by a werewolf in a car, I don't know. So I was like, Mike, let's just do it where, you know, he's on all fours and he's running. So just small stuff like that, you know. So it's basically like a collaboration, but Mike came up with some cool characters too. And after I got the script, I see all these extra characters in there, and I need to make model sheets for these characters. I don't know what they look like. Mike might give you a short description, you know, like has blonde hair, you know, kind of looks like the one woman, whatever her name is, you know, very vague, you know what I mean? Nothing like the werewolf. He just said, you know, Bernie Wrightson style werewolf. That's it. That was the only description. I had to, you know, come up with the rest. So it was a collaboration. And then what I did is I worked with this artist named Lee Oakes, which Mike recommended to me because they worked together before. And I hired him to do my model sheets. And I gave the description that Mike, you know, gave me in the script. I wrote down the descriptions and I gave them to that guy, Lee Oakes, the artist. And then he came back with, you know, the sketches, and I would look at it and I'm like, well, maybe change this, change that. And then once it was done, he would ink it. And then I'd be like, yeah, I like that. And then it'd be done. We move on to the next character. So I did a model sheet for just about every character in the books. Even if they had one-page appearance, we still would make a model sheet. I think almost every character, not every single one, but almost everyone. And I think anybody should do that. If you're going to create a character, you got to get the characters first. You got to have, you got to get them all set up, and then you can put them in the world. You have all your characters, and then you can drop them in your world. In my case, it's just a regular world. It's not like a fantasy world. It's Earth, modern day. That's where my story takes place. But I recommend anybody, start with a script, and then actually after you do the script, you want to get it edited. You want to get somebody outside, somebody who would, tell you something's wrong. Somebody who won't lie to you. Somebody who's not going to say, yeah, it's the greatest script I ever read. Yeah. You need somebody to be real critical. I recommend hiring a professional editor after the script. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure there's no gaps or, plot holes or whatever. And then after you get that script, I recommend you go right to model sheets, and you make model sheets for all these characters in that beautiful script you just paid a lot of money for. And after you get those model sheets, I recommend that you actually get them colored. When I did it, though, I went cheap route, and I did just black and white. And later on, I actually wished that I actually went and did color first. But you might be able to get away with it with black and white. But then once you got these model sheets and you got this script, then you need to hire an artist. You need to find an artist that fits your, the way you want to see your comic book look. So you're gonna have to, whatever that is, you're gonna have to search the internet. You're gonna have to go on Facebook and join groups and look at artists' work. There might be an artist in Brazil or in Spain or in Russia or somewhere around the world that has a style that you want. And then you got to find him. You got to hope that he wants to do your book, and that he's not busy doing somebody else's book.
Well, there's that too, yeah.
And then you got to be able to afford to pay for this said artist, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and something can happen. Something can go wrong. If you get the wrong artist, they might make 3 or 4 pages and then say, "Oh, I just had a kid. I got to quit. Sorry, man." And then take their money, and you got 4 pages now. And then what your only choice is to continue with another artist or to start all over again and waste more money and pay another artist to do those pages again. So you can get burned doing comic books if you don't know what you're doing. Or someone could take your money and, you pay some guy in some foreign land and you never see it. I'm glad none of that stuff ever happened to me, but, it's a big risk doing comic books as well. And it's not cheap. But not every artist is out there to rip you off, though. So if you find the one that's worked with other people, I recommend, you make sure they did work with other people so that they do good work. And you got to make sure that they're kind of quick, you don't want to wait 10 years for your book to come out.
Yeah, that's
So
true too.
that's another factor you got to worry about is how fast are they? Some artists can churn out a page in a day. Other artists might take a week to do one page. It all depends. And then I actually recommend that you get an inker, a separate inker, than using the same guy for both, because you can get it done faster.
So the penciler is separate from the inker, who's separate from the colorist?
Yeah, the coloring would be the last step.
And you're recommending an inker who's separate from the penciler?
Well, actually, the lettering is the last step. What are you asking?
So you're suggesting have an independent letterer who's separate from the penciler, even?
Yeah, I would get different people for all the jobs.
Oh.
Letterers aren't. You can get a pro editor for about $12 a page. They charge for a top letterer. That's not a bad deal. So I recommend you pay a pro. $12 a page. I mean, you can get guys that are cheaper, $10 a page, maybe even $8, but you get what you pay for. That's for sure. This is an early sketch that I did. You see the pipe? It was just basic. It just had an X on it. It was like a corn cob pipe type deal, like Frosty the Snowman or some shit. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
And then later on, I was like in need of the upgrade, so I hired Gerhard. You remember Gerhard from Cerebus? You ever read Cerebus, the aardvark?
I read a couple issues.
Are you familiar with it though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I contacted Gerhard because I actually like his cross hatching, and he's a really cool guy. And does some great art, and he's really good at drawing animals. So I hired him to actually help me redesign my Smokes character that I created when I was 15. And he agreed, and he came up with this cool sketch. And then I used the sketch and I gave it to another artist, and this other artist actually made me a turnaround sheet, the front, back, side view.
Okay, all right, right.
Looks like. So Gerhard did like the front view, and he had a little bit of a hard time doing the side view and the back view. It's not for everybody. I mean, it's very hard work. Some people could do it, some people can't. I mean, so I got this other artist to do the other side of the side profile in the back. And then I got this really cool model sheet. And then when I hired my artist Lee Oakes, because he did such a good job on the model sheets, I hired him to draw Smokes. And when he first drew Smokes, he drew him really way different than he looks. Not cartoonish. He drew him really detailed and realistic looking. And I hated it. I was like, no, it's gotta look like this. And I did the model sheet again. He didn't listen to my instructions. He just drew him how he wanted to.
Oops.
I said, no, we gotta look at this. And then finally he got it, and then he nailed it. He did a perfect job, exactly how I wanted.
Nice.
So this book came out really great. It's my dream comic book, and it came out. I thought it came out pretty damn good.
That's cool. Welcome, Sim Inkslayer. How's it going? Good stuff. It says Hail Sim. Right on. I'm not sure what it is. Are you by chance streaming from a phone? Every now and then you start to robot.
Probably this damn camera.
Oh, okay. So this is your art? You hand drew this early concept?
Yeah, I drew that. It's about as good as I draw. It was drawn like a notebook with like a blue pen, big pen or something.
Yep. That's what it looked like.
That character right there, where that guy is, the kid with the glasses. I don't know. That character doesn't exist in the new comic book. I don't even know what the hell I was going to do with that.
I thought that was going to be the female doctor.
No, it's supposed to be a guy, like a kid with shaggy hair, and I think he was like an awkward teen, and he was supposed to make friends with Smokes in the comic book. That was my original idea or something, but I abandoned that idea, so that character doesn't exist in the new book. And that's the main cover right there. The the Don Perlin, Bob Layton cover, and Gerhard actually colored that cover.
Is that right?
Yes. And if you've noticed, I don't know if are you a fan of Ghost Rider? Are you familiar with his first appearance, the comic book?
Not really. I didn't collect Ghost Rider. I would get like an occasional issue, but I wasn't
No,
around.
Have you ever seen it like online, the first appearance of Ghost Rider?
I don't think so.
Well, it kind of looks like this, where he has like his motorcycle up in the air, and then he has that flame coming out the back tire. Okay. So that flame looks exactly like the. It's like kind of like a homage to the first appearance of Ghost Rider, right there. That flame coming off the back.
Cool. Smokes a Fox #1.
You know, when we redesigned him, we gave him that Nam outfit. I came up with that idea because originally he just wore a wife beater, and then I added like a hoodie, because I used to wear a wife beater with a hoodie over it when I was a kid. So I designed him to look kind of like me, and because I smoke weed out of a pipe, you know, he smokes weed out of a pipe, but I don't smoke weed out of that kind of pipe. I have a glass pipe, but
okay.
You know, but I thought it'd be cool with like a fancy pipe for him, like a Sherlock Holmes type deal. You know what I mean? So we actually spent a lot of time designing that pipe. And then originally he wasn't supposed to wear pants. He's supposed to be like fucking like Winnie the Pooh, you know, just wear a top. But Don Perlin refused to draw Smokes without pants on the cover. And I don't know why, but he refused. So he goes, "You got to put pants on that thing." And I said, So what I did is we made a compromise, and we came up with those shorts with the stripe. And so then I had to add that to the model sheet. So now I kind of dig the shorts. So that's how he got his outfit. And the Nam outfit is because I like you know, the Nam movies like Born on the 4th of July, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket. I always thought that uniform was really cool looking.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to look badass. And then,
what's up?
And then he's gray. How many foxes do you see that are gray? You know, they're always portrayed as red and white.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. Thanks for dropping the links, mods. Yeah, I really dig that army jacket.
What's up, yeah, that's the Gerhard cover, the variant cover. He did a great job on this. He colored it. He did everything on this one. If you look at the detail, if you zoomed in, I don't know if you can or not, but the cross hatching on this cover is absolutely incredible. He does these small little cross hatching lines. So much detail. So I was trying to get that look of Cerebus where he's kind of like cartoonish, but his world is like really super detailed. So that's the kind of like feel I was going for.
Let's see. Did that really?
A little bit. There you go.
A little bit.
There you go. Like in the trees.
Yeah.
In the rock. I think that rock is supposed to be Castle Rock. I don't know if you've ever been to Colorado, but there's a town called Castle Rock, Colorado, and it's called that because on the top of the hill or the mountain, whatever you want to call it, is this big rock structure, and it looks kind of like a castle from far away. So I think that's what he added in the background in this piece, because this takes place in Colorado.
Nice.
And then all those animals you see in the book, those are all nocturnal creatures from Colorado. I gave Gerhard a list of all the nocturnal animals I can find on Google, and I told him to fit as many as he could in the cover because he's known for drawing animals. So
I love that.
Wait, what?
Oh, I love that you're so you're so particular, and you know you're detail oriented, and you you recognize the strengths of all these creators and cater to them.
I picked the right people for the right job. I think I got the right people. I mean, I had to wait on some guys, but it was worth it, and I got the product in the end that I wanted.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do something once, you got to do it right the first time. This is my dream. I'm not gonna play games. I'm gonna do it right the first time, and I want you guys to come back for a second issue. So it's not, no one's gonna come back, if it's not good, or you're not gonna get as many backers as you got the first time around if you're not. So I brought my A game on this one.
Yeah. True.
And I'm gonna bring my A+ game on my next one. Double A game.
And then your A++ on the
because now I know the process and how everything works.
Yep.
Well, except for the printing, I haven't got there yet.
Very cool.
That's the interiors.
Oh, even with the dialogue on some of the pages. Man, I was looking at that.
Yeah, some I left on.
Was it? Yeah. The detail on the motorcycle is sweet.
And the ground and the grass, all that stuff.
That's cool. You got a little mix of some with and some without dialogue.
Yeah, I read it online that you should give them a little mix of both. This is the first time Smokes gets high after he escapes the facility. He steals the stash from the campers. So there's a couple of teenagers that were hanging out in the woods, and they camped out for the night. And Smokes goes inside their tent when he falls asleep, and he grabs their stash, he grabs their wallet, grabs the lighter, grabs a hoodie, and then he gets really high, and then he gets so high actually that he's seeing purple pandas. That's what you're seeing in that one. But Mike Barron wanted that in the story. He specified purple pandas.
Purple pandas. That's funny.
That's just a bar scene where the bikers go at it. And Smokes is in the background just having a beer on that one. It's hard to see him. He's on the second panel. Mike wanted that in there too. He wanted a guy flying across the panel like that. He's very specific on some things. Other things he's vague. It all depends.
Weaponized Werewolf number 0.
So originally, this scene right here that you're seeing was actually a part of Smokes' comic book. But my editor said that I should take this page out because it really had no story to it. It was just a pinup of a werewolf killing a poacher or a hunter. So I decided, since he wanted to get rid of it, I agreed with him because he's been an editor for like 30 years or so, that I would take his recommendation because I never did this before. And I thought, but I like the idea of it, and I want to use it as a cover. So I actually repurposed that page that we cut out of Smokes, that we edited out, and I made it the cover because it's just a pinup. So that's how this cover came about. So this scene happens inside the Smokes comic.
Oh no, did he go?
I repurposed it for for the Weaponized Werewolf cover. So both these comics definitely go together. When you read them both, you get the full picture. So there's a little bit of things are left out in Smokes that you don't understand, but after you read Weaponized Werewolf, you understand it. I thought it would be cool, to get 2 books by Mike Barron and the story that comes together when you read them both. So who's doing stuff like that? I mean, I'm not the first person to ever do this, but I'm trying to, shake things up a little bit. Everybody's doing stuff, same kind of things, big boobs, and superheroes with capes and all that stuff. When I went up to Mike said, "No capes." That was the first thing.
No capes.
That's the first thing he said to me. I agree with him. I love some characters with capes. I don't hate capes or anything. I'm just saying it's been overdone. It's been beaten to the ground. It's been too many times. So how many times has there been a pot smoking fox? A couple. I've seen them online. It's not the first person. I'm not the first person to draw a fox smoking pot. Actually, I've looked, but it's not common. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it all over the place. But,
right. Sim says, I like that he added a 420 tier like me. It's a must when you got a stoner in the book.
I didn't know you added a tier for real. I didn't know that. So we came up with the same idea. I seriously didn't see yours.
Hell yeah, I got the wrench power again.
Yeah, I was high earlier today. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put those prelims for sale. And I thought 420 was a good price with free shipping. And I just threw them up there. See what happens.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for dropping the links. If anyone happens to back the campaign during the stream, please drop your backer number in the chat. Purple pandas are like pink elephants. That's exactly what I was thinking as he was discussing it. Ed Damone said it best. No capes. Indeed.
No more capes. I mean, we got enough.
And
now,
it looks like
there's some cool characters coming out with capes. I like capes. I'm just saying. He just said that to me, but he didn't want to write one personally about superhero stuff. He wanted something different, you know.
Right, exactly.
So, when I told him I was a pot smoking fox and he was a fellow pot smoker, he was in. It didn't take much convincing.
And you also got Kyle Ritter to do colors, and you got Xevious.
Yeah, what happened was one day Kyle Ritter posted on Twitter that he's doing commissions, cover color commissions, and I already got Tim Vigil to do the werewolf cover. I know he's very vulgar, Tim Vigil. I know he was like when he draws, he draws nudity or a lot of gore, or like a girl sucking off a demon, some crazy shit, man. And I know I'm the kind of guy that doesn't have any, I don't like censorship. So I just told him I needed a werewolf killing this guy, and I gave him a model sheet of the hunter that guy made for me, Lee Oaks. And I said, this guy's going to get killed by this werewolf. And I gave him the model sheet for the werewolf. And there's going to be an eagle on the floor, and he has a shotgun in his hand or whatever. And that was the only things I gave him, the instructions. And then he came back with this: a guy getting ripped open by a werewolf, jumping on his back, ripping out his guts and ripping his face off with his other claw. And I said, sure, that's what he wants to do. I'm not gonna direct him. I already gave him my, what I needed, the elements. He can do his own thing after that. And
yeah.
Then I saw that post by Kyle Ritter, and I was like, shit, what better than to get, a top colorist to color this piece? And then when Kyle came back with the piece, it took him a long time. I had to wait a year, man. I know he's very busy, doing Cyberfrog and all that stuff, and everybody else wanted him. So he finally got to mine, and then what he did, though, is he made the scene too dark. It was at night.
Okay.
And Tim Vigil basically showed me, in the script, there's supposed to be like the sun's coming down, but it's not nighttime yet. And so he wanted some changes. He wanted a couple of changes made. And Kyle Ritter was so busy that he wasn't able to do any changes for me. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna ask Xevious. And then Xevious said, yeah, man, I'll do something. I'll help you out. And then he did the changes that Tim Vigil wanted. Just a couple things like the jacket color change, just a couple small things. And then, so now it's a collaboration cover, between two top colorists, Xevious and Kyle Ritter, with a fantastic artist like, Tim Vigil. His artwork blows me away. I mean, he's way underrated. If you're not familiar with his work, you got to check out his stuff. It's just absolutely brilliant. But because sometimes he draws, the occasional demon, doing sexual things, people give him a bad name or whatever. But I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Right. Welcome, Pops. Good to have you.
I mean, I don't collect that kind of artwork, but I'm not gonna, bash him for making it. But
Right,
I think
right.
that's what it kind of held him back from getting a job at DC or Marvel. They're not gonna hire somebody who's drawing demons pounding women and shit. You know what I mean? He's not.
That's reasonable.
Then I needed the artist for Weaponized Werewolf, and I didn't know who to get. I knocked on some doors, and I couldn't find anyone. And then I came across Barry McLean. Barry McLean lives in Colorado as well.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
Funny how it works out.
He was actually already working for Mike Barron.
Oh.
If you're familiar with a book called Cue Ball.
No, I'm not.
Him, he's a character. He has like a cue stick.
Oh. Right.
And he also did this other comic book called Billy the Kid. It's a bunny western, like horror comic book. It's a weird book, man, but it's really, really cool, and it's got a really good story, and takes place in the Wild West days, and it's like a version of Billy the Kid. And he's a rising artist. You see his artwork right here. You see how good he is. I later on found out that he actually is my neighbor, out of all places. So I found out that Barry McLean lives right next to me.
Oh my gosh, what
Isn't that crazy?
this?
Out of all places?
Yeah, no doubt. I was told my campaign is an insult to anyone who spent months planning theirs. Well, damn. Sorry to those first-time professionals. Lol. What the hell? Who's saying that crap? Oh my gosh, that's funny. The first CG animated show, work in progress. Nathan Merck. Remember the name. Oh wow. Moving forward with the animation. Sweet. Yeah, I think so far the furthest someone has gotten is an animated intro. Yeah, I think that's the furthest. I don't think anyone's actually gone like full length cartoon or movie or series or anything like that yet. Looking good, looking good.
Yeah, so I hired Barry McLean, and he instantly agreed because he's worked with Mike Barron before, and he loves horror. And when he found out it was a werewolf book, Mike Barron, and horror, he was immediately said yes. And he actually knocked out this book in about 3.5 weeks.
Whoa.
He knocked it out, man. He knocked it out of the park, too. He did a really, 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 really good job. And then what happened was we got the scans from the pencils, and we sent them over to Rodney Ramos, emailed them to him, and actually Dropbox, I think we used. Everybody uses Dropbox for all those big files. And then he printed them out, and then he blue lined over the so Smokes was done traditionally, where the pencils and inks are on one board, and Weaponized Werewolf was done non-traditionally, where the pencils are on one board and the original inks are on a separate board.
Really? That is a trip.
So you can actually buy original artwork from my campaign, and if you picked up the Weaponized Werewolf page, you'll actually get a pair of pages. You get the both of them on separate boards. And I just had Mike Barron sign everything. So if anybody wanted to pick up a page of art, they're already signed by Mike. And the artist signed them.
Wow.
This right here is a glimpse into Sepoy's world. That alien up at the top, his name's Sepoy. It's just showing you like what happened in his world. I don't want to tell you much more than that, but it's a big part of the story. Look at those colors, though.
Yeah.
DC Alonso did these colors for me. He did Replicator, Expendables Go to Hell.
Oh, right. Okay.
Star Trek for IDW.
All right.
Very good artist. Very good colors.
Yeah, he has some really good talent, man. And how funny that so many of them live in Colorado too.
Yeah, that's why I'm offering the signed tier. I wasn't gonna do that, but since all my guys, except for my inker lives in New York City, but he's not gonna be signing the book. So if you bought the signed tier, all 3 covers, you'll get Mike Barron's signature in all 3 covers. You get my signature in all 3 covers. Then I'll have Lee Oaks signed Smokes, and I'll have Barry McLean signed Weaponized Werewolf. And I can get them all together because, one lives right next to me and the other one lives not too far down the road. So
nice.
So I did a little bit of local, I did a little bit of Comicsgate, and I did a little bit of pro. So there's a little bit of something for everybody in this. It's kind of like a mix.
Really?
Then I also got Peter Palmiotti inked the pinup that's going to be in there. I showed it around Twitter, but it's not colored yet. And once it's colored, I'll include it in the book.
Nice.
This right here is a pinup that Barry McLean did, and it's the metal trading card art. And the first 90 backers actually get this card by Phoenix Animation. We're all sold out though. So, but this image will be inside. I'm going to put it inside Weaponized Werewolf, I believe. I'm going to throw this image in there, but the cards are sold out.
Nice. Let me see here.
I told everybody to get in there early, but no one listened.
Now it's too late. Da-da-da.
Now you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. You can have a great metal shiny card from 6 Animation in your collection.
Pop says, speaking of animation, Pedro's work is up on the video on the campaign. Sweet. Yeah. Pedro's like offering CGers to do like shorts for their promotional vids.
Hell, I would take an animation skit from him any day because he does a really good job on those. I've seen his work.
Yeah,
Tropical Magic.
True or not?
That trailer he did, the animation for that, it looks like some shit I'd watch on a Saturday morning. Honestly, he should be making cartoons and not even comics. I don't know. I mean, those animations were amazing to me. He can just like sell it as like a DVD, or maybe an animated comic book. You ever see those?
Oh, that would be interesting. Huh.
Yeah, he should I don't know, man, but he does some pretty cool stuff with the animation. I had a guy who did mine. His name's Window, who did that trailer earlier I showed you. It's like a 45-second animation, but you only used a little bit of it for that trailer. But it's actually 45 seconds long.
Oh, okay.
He did all this animation just using the elements that are in the cover. It's crazy how he did it.
Wow.
But that's the original art right there. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, wow. This is cool.
So that's a page Weaponized Werewolf standard, 11 by 17. And you can see they still got the notes and the margins.
I love the margin notes.
Yeah, and at the very top, Rodney Ramos signed that one, and then Mike Barron signed it at the bottom.
Man.
And then the pencils are actually signed by Barry McLean. So you'll get the pencil page with that one if you back that tier. These are sketch cards. So you can actually get one as an add-on for $25 to your order, and you'll get a random sketch card. It's either going to be drawn by Barry McLean or Lee Oaks. And they did a pretty good job on these.
Yeah, those are cool.
And they'll come in a plastic, protective case, one of those little top loaders. And then I got Smokes license plate, because no one's ever done that, for a comic book campaign, I don't think.
Yeah, I have not seen that done yet. That's cool.
And since there's a lot of motorcycle action in the book, and Mike loves motorcycles, this plate is the same size if you went to the DMV and you got a motorcycle plate from them. And it's made out of really strong aluminum, really strong. Right. And then it's got the 2 holes in it at the top, so you can actually mount. Someone told me they're actually they bought the plate from me, and they're gonna mount it to their motorcycle, and they're gonna take a picture for Mike.
Oh man,
you can either put this on a bicycle, you can mount it on a real motorcycle, and it comes with magnets. So and they're like, it has adhesive on it, so you can slap them in the corners. Then you can make a magnet out of this. So
Oh,
you can do whatever you
wow.
want with this damn thing. You can use it as a fan.
That's flexible,
You know,
man.
you can make it just to be a collectible and just throw it, in a backing board and throw it in your long box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, true.
And then next thing we got is the neck gaiter. And these are what are they? I think they're $20 or 25. I can't remember my own prices now.
Yeah.
But it's like a cloth print. Have you seen it? Remember I wore it at my birthday special, remember?
Hold on. Let me get back to you.
You don't remember?
There it is. There it is.
Remember my birthday special I was wearing it, you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So it's got smokes in his motorcycle. Nice. Oh, and the animals in the background. Sweet.
So it's like a cloth print. So if you don't want to wear the damn thing on your face, you can just keep it as a collectible. It's like that's a 6 a.m. Bottle opener. It's
Wait, 6 a.m. or Phoenix Animation?
I mean Phoenix Animation, not 6 a.m. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say
it's been a long night.
I haven't seen anyone ask Phoenix Animation to make any bottle openers until now.
You know how long it took me to take this damn picture for this?
What? How long?
You know how hard it is to take a picture of a metal bottle opener?
Oh,
you have to wait until the sun is like just coming out, so you get the light, the early light, or whatever the hell they call it. And then I had to put it at an angle, and then it was really a pain in the ass. It took me actually 2 or 3 days to get this image.
Like indirect light.
Yeah, because if you got too much light on it, it looks like shit. And if you don't get enough light on it, it's too dark. So actually, I had to look it up on the internet how to take a picture of metal. So they told me to wait for the when the sun was just coming up. So I'm like waiting for my perfect timing to take a picture of this damn thing. But it came out nice. It's double-sided, so it's got the Gerhard cover on both sides. I gave one to Mike when I saw him, and then he showed me last time I saw him. He showed me in his backpack that he had it on him. He's like popped it out of his bag, so he thinks it's pretty cool, and he carries it around, I guess.
Cool. Well, you never know when you got to pop a brewski.
And then you get a free mystery gift if you back the Epic bundle. And I only think I have like 5 or 6 bundles left, so there's not many left of those.
Wow.
And then that's the sticker right there, the 6 a.m. sticker.
Oh,
so
man.
we just unlocked that one, that stick, the first one. And then Weaponized Werewolf, it unlocks at 7K. And then there's Sepoy at 8K. And that's Colonel Mayberry at 9K. But he doesn't got his military uniform on. He's kind of like just in regular clothes. You can see his tattoos.
Yeah.
It came out nice.
Man, 6 a.m. is awesome.
This guy right here is John Bauer. John Bauer plays an important role in Smokes, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But you can see he's a police officer, or maybe a former police officer, and he's also, an outdoorsman.
Cool. 20K high roller.
Look at my last stretch goal. We're not going to probably get there, but
Baron and Belmont smoke up like
I told him I'd drive down to his house for that.
Oh my gosh! So you'll live stream the two of you.
We'll make comic book history.
Oh my gosh!
I don't think we're gonna make it this campaign. I think I made it too far out, but I came up with it last minute, and I asked him. I said, "Would you smoke weed on air?" He said, "Sure."
Oh man, it would be.
No one's done that. No one's done that before.
No, that's true.
Well, nobody's got Mike Barron to do that anyway.
That would be so funny. Wrestling challenges.
It basically tells you that the comic book is done. I'm just putting the final touches on it, the credits pages and any of the extra stuff I'm gonna put in there. I was hoping, someone did some fan art, and I was gonna throw that in there, but I haven't really seen too much fan art. But if someone wanted to, sees this and they wanted to draw a piece and I like it, I'll ask them for a scan and I'll throw it in the book. I always liked fan art. When I was a kid, I actually I did fan art for this book. There's a comic book company called Triumphant Comics. You probably don't remember it. It was very small. It had Chromium Man was one of the characters. Scavengers was another title. And Francesco actually drew Scavengers.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
No, I don't. I thought he did at first.
There's a cool character. His name was Chromium Man. He was kind of a rip-off of like Colossus, maybe.
Oh, all right.
But he was cool. I liked it. And I did a pinup when I was 16. And I sent it to him in the mail. And then one day I opened up an issue of Chromium Man from Triumphant Comics, and I was inside of it. They gave me my own page inside the comic book. I have it on the internet. I can show you sometime. And
how cool is that?
I wish I can bring it up right now, but it was a pinup of the character, and then they published it and they said, "Special thanks to Justin Belmont, Utica, New York," and I signed it, and it says age 16 underneath my signature, so I know when I did it. And I still had the comics at my house. I was in actually 2 or 3 different issues. They put it in like 3 different titles that month. And I was the only person to be in there for fan art. There was no like multiple pages of fan art. It was only me. And I had a full page.
Wow. Now that's fun.
I felt like I was like a star. But I never got my artwork back. They kept it. But hey, I got the gift of eternal life inside their comic book.
There you have it. That's pretty sweet. That must have been a really good feeling.
So that's the first time I've ever got published, actually. So I was actually published before.
Yeah.
Technically, right?
Legit. That's legit publishing. Let's check out the tiers real quick.
Yeah, the tiers right there, the Epic Bundle. I got 6 left. And
wow.
The Epic Bundle, you're gonna get all 3 of the covers. So you're gonna get both Smokes covers, and you're gonna get Weaponized Werewolf, and then Mike Barron's gonna sign all 3 of those comics. I'm gonna sign all 3 of them, and then the interior artists Barry McLean and Lee Oakes are gonna sign them. So you're gonna get 9 autographs total. You're gonna get 3 comics. You're gonna get the bottle opener that we just looked at. You're going to get the mystery gift that nobody knows, but people keep asking me, what is it? It's not a fucking mystery if I tell you. You're going to get a random sketch card from one of the artists who did the interiors, and you're going to get the Smokes license plate that we just showed you, and it comes with a magnet, so if you want to mount them to the back of the license plate, you can just slap that damn thing around your fridge. And every time you go to get a snack, you're going to think of my character.
There you have it.
And then you get the neck gaiter as well. So like I said, if you don't want to put the damn thing on your face, it's still pretty cool collectible because it's a print, basically a cloth print.
Yep.
And it's really high quality too. I was really surprised. I had a company out here not too far from me do this for me, and they come flat too. So all this stuff fits in the Gemini mailer. That's what I like about all this. All my merchandise fits nice right in there. It's all flat.
Yep.
The bottle openers are nice and flat. The sketch cards are flat. The metal cards are flat. I didn't want to go outside of that Gemini, except for the original art. Other than that, I didn't go outside of that because it's my first campaign, my first rodeo. I want to be, I even tested things to see how many comics I could fit in the damn mailer and all this stuff, to make sure. So I set it up so someone can't buy more than 9 comic books at a time per order on Indiegogo. You got to make sure you set up all your stuff, your add-ons and everything correctly, because someone might, order 12 comics or whatever, and it might not fit in the damn Gemini or whatever it is. But
yeah,
I recommend that mess around with get a Gemini mailer and get some comic books in there and mess with it and see what you can fit in there. Make sure your stuff fits.
Since
know.
the license plate and the bottle opener are metal, are you thinking about putting maybe one of each of those items on either side of a bag and board?
Wait, what?
Like, you've got the plate and the bottle opener. They're both metal, so you don't want them to cause imprints on the books.
No, there's like a flap and the Gemini that'll separate the two layers so they won't touch. And then they're also got poly bags so they won't. I think we'll be fine. And my wife has got a lot of experience shipping stuff, so we'll like make a mock-up of how it's gonna go, and then make sure it's really secure, and then use that for every single package so everybody's is secure. And no matter how good you do it, there's always gonna be someone out there who's gonna get a bent comic. So I'm prepared for that. It's a part of business. There's going to be a mailman out there that's going to bend it, even though it says "do not bend." They're going to stuff that damn thing in that box. They're going to kick it in there. And I've had it happen to me a few times. I order something. I'm waiting for a year to get my perk, and then it comes, and the fucking thing is, it's bent. And then you try to contact the campaign owner. They don't even answer you sometimes. But
true, yeah. I am very familiar with that. It's amazing how you could have something that says "do not bend" and it'll get bent.
But yeah, I ordered stickers for that, so it's going to say "do not bend." It says, be careful handling it, whatever how it says "do not bend," something like that. Big bright red and white sticker. I got those. I'm going to buy some Gemini mailers, a big stack of them. And I'm going to buy backing boards and bags and boards for all the comic books. I'm going to inspect them all to make sure, I like a mint comic book. I don't know about you guys, but when I pay top dollar, you guys are paying, $25 for my comics. You're going to get those fuckers mint, or I'm going to have to replace them. You know what I mean?
Speaking of replacements, do you already have an idea as to how much you're planning to overprint to cover things like that?
I haven't even thought about how many I'm going to order, because I'm trying to figure out how many I'm going to need, because my book's still, the juice is still running right now. But I am going to order, a bunch of extras so I can, later on sell them at cons or
nice
now on demand, whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
I know that, but I don't want to overdo it either, like Image or whatever, and make 10 million copies. But and they're expensive, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I need to start working on the next issue. So I'm hoping to raise some more capital with this project. I'm in the hole, but I'm having fun. I'm doing this for the love. I know you're not supposed to be rich off your first campaign or anything. I'm not really doing it for any of that. I'm doing this because this has been eating at the back of my damn head for many, 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 many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided, I'm just going to fucking do it.
Yeah. And there comes a time when you just got to make a move.
And I added this digital tier because I don't ship anywhere but the U.S. and the territories, because this is my first time, and I heard the shipping prices are out of this world. And I know some other campaigns offer it because they're getting hundreds of backers, and they can offset the price because they're making money on all the shipping, $1, $2 here, $3 there, and they can offset the price. You know what I mean? But with my campaign, I only have 100+ backers. It's not enough to offset the price. I'll end up losing money. You know what I mean? So when I get bigger, I'll offer to, it's not that I don't like the guys in Canada. It's just so expensive. I sent a bottle opener to Gerhard as a gift because his image is on it, his cover's on it. He thought it was cool. It cost me almost $15 to send that one metal bottle opener. It's 6 inches and it weighs almost nothing. It doesn't weigh that much.
Oh, man.
$14.75, and that was like a year ago, WyzGyz. That wasn't like last week, so it might have went up even further. So I can't give you guys affordable shipping, and no one's going to buy them anyway if I'm going to try to get $30 shipping or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Was it in small packaging, or did you use like if it fits ships?
No, I just used a padded, stupid small mailer.
Oh dang!
It was it was $15 almost, like 14.75 or something like that.
Oh,
Almost
golly.
$15. And I was like, if I sent 3 comics in the mail or 2 comics, it's gonna be like $28, $26, something like that. You know what I mean?
You
So
might,
it's just too much. Where the shipping costs more than the books cost, it's just too much.
yeah.
So
may-
this guy talked me into putting a digital tier in. I talked to Chris Browley, who controlled the campaign for Thin Blue Line. He did Florida Man. And I asked him, I said, should I add a damn digital tier? He said, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. Why not? And so I decided to add it. And it's only $12. So if you live in Australia or UK, it's $12.
yeah.
I know it's not a physical copy. A lot of people don't like digital. You know, I'm not even the biggest fan of digital, honestly. But for the people that really want it and you want to get a hold of it, I'm offering the digital version for you guys.
Right. If you haven't already, you might reach out to RJ of Critical Blast.
Yeah, but he told me that I'm not big enough really either yet, because you need to get at least like 5 orders, 8 orders for Canada or something per country. You know what I mean? Per country.
Gotcha.
I only know like 1 or 2 guys maybe in Canada that want to pick it up. But I'm trying my best. I'm getting out there every day. I don't have a big budget to market. You know what I mean? I'm not buying keywords or anything. I'm just jumping on these streams. I'm asking guys like you to get on their streams. I don't even have my own platform because it's so small. I got like 30 something subs. So I don't bother streaming on my stream. So I just been, surfing channels, different channels, just doing the circuit.
Yeah, doing the circuit is. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just been doing the circuit.
Yeah, I mean it's very helpful, but over time you do want to still build your brand. And
I've been like once in a while trying to get people to sub me. So when I do want to do a special or something, I'll have somebody that actually tune in. So I'm working on my subs a little bit.
Sweet. Sim says, "Yep, it cost me $28 to send 1 book the other day, and they wanted to charge me $60 to mail to UK."
No, I would be out money if I offered it to those guys then.
Wow. There's some, people making deals with other creators and stuff, so that, like, let's say you're distributing from the States and you happen to have a lot of orders in, say, Canada. You guys make an arrangement so that some of the print run goes to Canada, your Canadian contact, and some comes to you. And I think people are trying to make collaborations with those in the UK and do something similar. I don't know how far we are along with that, but I think that's in the works too. Sim says you should come on Doodle and Chill.
I don't know what that is.
I think that's his.
But I'll go on any show that would have me. Anybody has an audience. Doesn't have to be like a super big channel or anything.
Yeah. I'm in Canada and I bulk ship between me and Beacon. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's guys doing deals and stuff like that, but I haven't worked out anything like that. There was one guy who was upset that he wanted to back me. He was in Canada. And then another guy came out. So I know there's at least 2 guys that I know that want Canada, but I don't have like everybody knocking on my door, but I'm hoping that I grow my audience and that I will have, 5 or 10 people that at least want to buy in Canada and another 10 people or something in Australia and all that. I know everybody wants physical comics, no one wants this digital stuff. I mean, people just tolerate it because, that's their only option or whatever. Well, some people like it for traveling, if you're like on a plane or I don't know, waiting room or something, if you're doing something like that. But other than that, it's a collector's hobby. You know what I mean? You want a mint comic book in a backing board in your collection. That's what I want anyway. So I'm going to make sure I ship these with, love and care. I'm going to check them all out and make sure that, they're near mint. And if there's any ones that are dinged up or whatever, put them to the side because I don't want to ship them again. It's going to, not going to try to get away with a bent corner or whatever. Someone's just going to complain. Why do it? So quality check is going to be, but it might take some extra time to do the shipping because I'm probably going to do it mostly myself. But it's going to be done right, or I'm not going to do it at all. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get it out fast as I can to you guys and try to get it on time by the end of August. That's my goal.
Right
there on the screen, August 2022. That's my goal.
Now I can charge $15 shipping to my U.S. backers. I got a few backers grabbing the book plus a digital copy. Sweet. No. Okay. Leonard is asking, hello, sir. Are you a furry? Oh, my gosh.
Everybody asks me if this is a furry book, and what I tell them is, no, it's not a furry book, but if you're into furry books, this book's for you.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of digital comics because I don't like the interface, and I don't have like having to do so many clicks to jump back and forth and, do all these backflips. With physical, you can easily flip back and forth between pages. And I like the feel and the smell of the paper,
I like it so you don't have to like dig through your comic books and to find that issue and go looking at it. We can just go to the digital file. And I collect artwork, so what I would do is use a digital file to scan the issue to find the best pages. And then the ones that I liked, I would like try to get from the artist. So I'd use a digital version for that. So I'm not always, messing up every time you handle a comic book, you're like, adding some wear and tear to it. So
that's true. Yeah.
I used to collect like 2 comics, one comic to read and then one to put away so I don't, mess with it. If it's an important comic book, I would double up usually.
Right.
So I'm a big collector, and I know everybody likes their comics mint. So that's going to be another priority, that the comic books are actually printed very well at a good printer, not some shoddy printer. The letters are going to be nice and crisp. I've heard people that they got a comic book and it's blurry, and the reason for that is probably because they didn't use a vector based file for the lettering. And what I'm going to do for my comic book is going to be a TIFF for the artwork, and then there's going to be an overlay, which is an EPS file, a vector file, and that's going to have the balloons and all the lettering. So when you get this comic book, those letters are going to pop right out of your face, right into your, right in your head, and they're going to be nice and thick. You know what I mean? That's what my letter told me anyway. So
legendary.
He's been guiding me since I never made a comic book before. He told me, what to do next or whatever. He's giving me a lot of advice. So I'd rather do it right the first time and then have to pay somebody to help me fix it. Because if you do it to the wrong dimensions, you're gonna have to hire somebody to go in Photoshop and start messing with resizing things, and just it'd be extra money and time you don't want to mess with. So you just get it done right the first time. Have a plan. Don't just wing it. Be sure you know what the fuck you're doing before you do it. If you don't know, ask somebody. And there's a lot of people in the community that will help you. You know what I mean? Don't just guess. It's not as simple as you think. You know what I mean?
For sure. Sim says it also has to do with the error margins of your book and having everything merged in one file, not on different layers.
Yep.
So
and hire a pro letterer. Don't do it yourself. Letterers are not that expensive. Like I said, $12 a page for a top guy, or maybe they went up a little bit. Maybe $14, maybe $13. But don't do it yourself. I mean, maybe you can do it yourself if you're good, but it's a lot of time and energy to do that when it's such a someone could do a real good job for affordable price.
Right.
I don't recommend anybody cut corners. I mean, give them a quality product so they come back for more. They're going to know that you got the cheaper guy. They're going to see it. They're going to see it in the quality, and then they might not back you next time. You know what I mean? They might, why'd you give them the newsprint? I seen another guy who was charging, top dollar, and but it was on newsprint. if you're going to charge $25 for your book, that in my opinion, that book should be printed on like, you know, a top printer, like real nice shit, you know, like an Image comic book or something like that. You know, really nice printing for that kind of money. But to give somebody, you know, a print, I don't mind newsprint comics, but you should charge like Alterna. He charges you, you know, affordable price for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I've seen people try to, you know, sell a book for like $25 when it shouldn't be that high because the quality of the book is not up there. I'm not saying the artwork is bad, just the actual printing of the comic. So I'm not gonna, you know, I have nothing against, like I said, the newsprint, because you actually can get more comics that way because they're more affordable. But I prefer like, you know, the 90s days when they had the really cool slick paper, you know, the nice paper, you know, the nice feel in your hands. Not that, to me, the newsprint feels kind of, it had its day, I think, and to me, those days are over with. But there's some guys that hold on to it and like that stuff, but I like the, you know, the newer stuff.
Take it easy.
Good stuff.
Thanks for hanging.
He couldn't handle me rambling on any longer. He's like, all right, Belmont's never going to shut up about this damn Fox book. I already backed him.
He's probably got another stream. He does a lot of streaming. I charge $25 printed on top quality, full colored Germain binding, 80 plus pages. Presentation is key. Yeah.
They're going to know if you used a good printer. They're going to know if you cheaped out. Why do that? And then when the second time comes around, you got a nice campaign, they might not back you.
Megamind said it best.
So it's always best to go with good quality stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm going to print all my stuff in America. Some people might go to China or something. I mean, it's cheaper, but I want to make mine in America. So
that's cool. I like that.
And I think they'll come, you know, it'd be a better chance of getting a mint in the mail to come in from America than overseas.
Well, and you're also not beholden to, you know, shipping container ships.
The ones that are still on docks for months at a time that are not. Yeah. So I'm definitely going with a local printer made in the USA.
Nice.
And this summer I'll get them printed up. Right now I'm just working on the design of the interior. Like I said, I might have some ads. Maybe I'll ask some creators out there if they want to put, you know, an ad in my book, a real, you know, affordable ad, maybe like $50 or something. Give them like a full page ad in my book or something like that. If someone was up for that, you know, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, just keep sharing that with everyone and like tweet every now and then about it, saying you've got ad space available if they want to have their ad, if they want to advertise a book or something in your pages.
Yeah, I was thinking like $50, something like that, $40. I don't know, maybe both comics or something for a little bit more. You can add in each book.
Right.
Something like that. I'm still thinking about it.
F China.
Yeah, I'm not going to get anything made in China or Korea or Taiwan or anywhere, you know, anywhere but America. Not even Canada. Someone's like, why don't you get in Canada? It's still North America. And I'm like, no. But I don't have anything against any of the countries, but, you know.
What about Puerto Rico? What about
fuck Puerto Rico?
What about Cuba?
Aren't our territory? That's part of America.
What about the Virgin Islands? What about Mexico?
I actually might even go with like a local printer, like in my backyard, if I could find a good one. But I'm really eyeing Georgia. It's called API Printing. They printed Florida Man.
Oh, all right.
And they printed, you know, some Earthworm Jim stuff. And a lot of people have used them. It's a big print house. Iconic Comics. Are you familiar with those?
I print in Canada.
Yeah, see, he's from Canada. He's going to want to print in Canada.
Yep. So we've got the legendary pack.
Yeah, you get the Legendary Pack A is the Layton and the Don Perlin and Bob Layton cover. And Gerhard did the colors on that one. And then you get Weaponized Werewolf. And then there's an option when you back this tier where I can sign both comics if you want. So if you want me to, I will. And if you don't, I can sign one or the other or both of them or none of them.
So you have like little drop downs where you decide whether you want to sign. All right.
So when you go to the checkout, it's going to ask you, do you want my autograph on this? Yes or no, yes or no. And then if you don't want it, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Just one less comic I have to sign.
There you go.
But I understand some people want a mint comic book.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Some people want them signed. But I was told I should offer the option because, it's my first campaign. Some people like the creator's autograph, and I don't think I should charge for my autograph. So a little something extra for your $25, I'll sign it if you want.
All right.
And then I was also giving away those metal cards, but those are all sold out now. So, and then this is Pack B. You still get Weaponized Werewolf, but you get the other Smokes cover, the Gerhard cover, the Peeing cover, the classic Peeing cover.
The classic Peeing cover.
And if you can't decide what cover you want, because I like them both, and they're about, to me, they're like the same. It's like picking a favorite son. I like them both equally.
Right.
I couldn't decide which one was going to be the main cover and which one was going to be the variant, so I just went in order. So Smokes was created first, the cover, so I made that Pack A. And then both covers were colored by Gerhard. I thought he did a good job on them.
Yeah.
And then you can get all three covers for $40.
Nice.
And I'll sign those too if you want. And then all three covers signed is everybody signs them. So you're going to get Mike Barron's autograph in all three of those books. And you're going to get, Barry McLean to sign Weaponized Werewolf. You're going to get Lee Oakes to sign both Smokes covers. And then I'll sign them. And then you're going to get 9 total autographs for $65 plus 10 shipping. So $75 even.
Okay.
And then that's the bulk retailer tier. I haven't had anybody bite on that one yet. Pops was like, you got to put a retail tier in there. And I said, all right, I'll do that.
I think it's a good idea.
But I don't think so many retailers have seen my page is another problem. That's the problem I'm having here.
I believe in having a retailer tier because I think there will be times where someone will want to buy a bunch of copies.
I don't think I'm big enough yet or haven't got the exposure yet, but I think one day I'll get there where someone will want to buy a bunch of them for their shop. I'm hoping that'll happen at issue 2. Once issue 1 comes out, I think there's going to be a little buzz and people are going to be like, wow, that was a good comic book. It wasn't what I expected or whatever. And then the word gets around and then, everybody's going to be excited for issue 2. And I'm going to make issue 2 bigger than issue 1. That's my goal. So
Cool. So how did you get the dolly, the hand truck to tilt at a 45?
The picture was actually set up like that.
Oh, all right.
I found this website that had royalty-free stuff, and it had that box with the with the dolly, and then I slapped the 2 logos on the box to make it look like it had comic books in it.
Nice.
And then I put a number 10 on there because there's 10 comic books inside. So I found a royalty-free 10 image. And I threw it there on the other panel. And then I went in Photoshop and I put that yellow outline around the image.
Yeah.
And then I found the royalty-free free shipping logo and I slapped that on there.
Well, it worked out great.
How I did that.
It worked out great.
I couldn't think of what the hell to do for that image. What am I going to do for a bulk retailer? So I came up with something. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a box on a fucking dolly, but you know what I mean?
Well, either that or, the cover of one of your books just repeated 10 times.
I didn't like that idea, and it seemed like a lot of work. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna slap some fucking stickers on a box.
Hey, it's effective.
I thought it was funny and original. I was
Yeah.
going for funny. Anyway, and then these are the original art tiers, like I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Smokes was done traditionally, so you're gonna get both inks and the pencils on the one board, and so that's why there's a price difference between the two pages. So Smokes are 140 and the Weaponized Werewolf pages are 150. And then I added one more tier today. If you scroll down, there's one more tier. The 420 special tier. Sim said that he already did that. I didn't know that, but you get two prelims. One of them's pencil, and one of them's inked, and they're 8.5 by 11 art paper. They're both signed by Tim Vigil, and they both were used, for creating the Weaponized Werewolf cover.
Oh.
So it's one of a kind original artwork, and it's in my collection. I wasn't going to part with this, but since I really need to raise money to start my next issue, buying scripts aren't cheap, and artists and all that stuff. So I'm willing to let go of my prelims. And I thought, 420 was a good price. There's no shipping, and there's no taxes on this because it's like what do they call it? A donation or whatever, contribution. So that's how it's set up. Because so if somebody doesn't give you the perk or whatever, they have it set up that way so they can't get sued or whatever. So that's why they always give you that warning. You're not guaranteed to get any of these perks, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's why I wanted to complete the book, so I don't have anybody worrying about not getting their book. I already made the investment in myself. I already paid all these artists. I already did all the work. I have a lot of art that I haven't showed you guys. I really want to show you guys, but then I'll reveal my whole hand. Then you guys will see the whole book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to spoil anything.
There's a lot of great pages I really like held back. I really wanted to show you guys, but I didn't because I want something to be exciting when you open up brand new images.
Yeah, never ruin it.
Some other guy out there did that, I guess, where he basically showed every page or nearly everything of the book and then spoiled it, and no one wanted to buy it because he already saw it all.
Oh dear. I wonder which one that was.
I don't even remember the damn name.
At first I thought you were going to say it was Shane Davis, but his book was still real popular.
No, I don't remember the name. It wasn't Shane Davis, though.
No. Let's check out this trailer once more, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
B for Belmont Press. That was a neat animation at the end there. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, on my YouTube page, you could actually see the whole animation without the trailer.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So it's about 45 seconds. And there's a little bit more to it that you haven't seen in the trailer. So not the whole thing was used for the trailer. Just a couple of clips were used. But you did a really good job. I want to add sound to the clip. Basically, I got an animation that's 45 seconds, but there's no sound or anything to it.
Okay, all right.
Maybe Pedro can like hook up my cartoon with some sound or something. I'm not good with any of that kind of stuff, man. I can't do anything with video or anything like that. I can design a little bit, but I can design a campaign page. I can be a campaign manager. You know, I can ship out comics. I can come up with ideas. I can create characters and have, you know, come up with story ideas. But, you know, I was never an artist. I tried to be, you know, I mean, I'm all right, but I'm not, you know, I'm nowhere near pro level, and I just, you know, haven't even drawn in years really that much. But I always wish I can draw. I tried writing too, and then I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So,
hey, you can always work on the skills and.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll write my own comic. There's a couple word balloons that I actually wrote in the comic book that had to be changed, not because Mike did a bad job or anything, because the artist didn't give enough room. Sometimes you got to make changes that you didn't really want to make, you know. The artist didn't make enough room, so it's too bunched up to put all that text in that little panel that he made. You don't know how big the panel is going to be when the script is made. It doesn't say how, you know, in the script how big the panel has to be.
True.
So the artist has to come up with that on his own. And if he miscalculates, all that text won't be able to fit.
True. Yeah. You have to be mindful of the layouts. Was there anything else that we may not have covered that you wanted to share?
I think we went over pretty much everything. You basically get 2 comics when you're back, and I'm gonna put them out this summer, and I'm gonna hopefully start working on the next issue pretty soon.
Nice.
I'm still, you know, brainstorming a little bit about it. But the next thing is going to be Smokes 2. There's probably going to be no weaponized werewolf along with it. But I will get back to him. I'm not, you know, abandoning him. I just don't have the money to do 2 books. And
this is your baby, in other words.
Yes, this is my baby, and I never intended on putting out a second book. That was never my intentions. It just happened. So instead of making a big Smokes book, I decided to make 2 separate books.
But it's essentially going to be an ongoing series, right?
Smokes is going to be a mini series, and then, you know, at least 1 mini series, and I can maybe make another one, kind of like Hellboy does. How they have like 4, 6 issue mini series or whatever.
Okay.
I was thinking something like that, and I want the original mini series to be written by Mike. You know, at least the first, you know, if it's 3 issues, I want Mike to write all 3 issues. But he might not be available. You know what I mean? He's in top demand right now. He's in high demand. Everybody's knocking on his door because he does such a good job. I think he's at the height of his career right now. He's got some projects coming out that, you know, they're going to be known like long after he's gone. They're going to be. He's got Bronze Star coming out with Pat Broderick, and Pat Broderick did like this supernatural western, and it's going to be in sepia, no color. And so it's like one of those old school, you know, Western comic books you'd get off the shelf like in the 50s or something. And
that sounds cool.
Artwork, if you don't know Pat Broderick's artwork, he does these really small, tiny details in the lines. The line work is absolutely incredible. Highly detailed, kind of like the image behind my head, like the Tim Vigil cover, like that kind of detail, you know, really, but all black and white. You have to see it. And then he's working on 2084. It's a futuristic comic book. I think it's something similar to what I was doing, whatever, that Cerebrum. I think it's something similar to that kind of, but, you know, it's kind of like the sequel to 1984 or whatever. Right. He's got a bunch of other stuff brewing too. He's working with some guy in the military, I think, working on a book with him. And he's doing like another Florida Man novel, and he writes biker novels also, and
what?
He has like 8 or 9 biker novels.
Dang, talk about a busy guy. Holy
He's
moly.
done everything, man. He did Florida Man comic books, Florida Man novels. He did a novel about some dog named. It's like about a real story, like about a dog. So he does different like genres too. He's very versatile. He's like written magazine articles. He used to actually review music. He used to do articles do like musical reviews when he started his career, I believe. So,
Okay.
and then his first job he got was smoking marijuana for the government, believe it or not. Did you know that?
His first job was smoking marijuana for the government?
Basically,
as like a test subject?
Basically, you sit there and you smoke marijuana and you do tests on your body and see, what the effects are to you, because they weren't, aware of the effects of marijuana back then. So the government would pay you to be like a human guinea pig. You stay there and just smoke weed all day. So it's like a dream job for some people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he told me that's what he did. He's even said it online. He said it on live before. That's what he did. So I picked the right guy for the job for this book.
Yeah, you sure did.
That's why he said he was born to write this book.
Yeah, for sure.
I picked the right guy. I think things happen for a reason. It seems like, things are happening for a reason. It's just starting to get, people are starting to recognize my book. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. But when you give it a chance, you're actually going to really enjoy this book. It's not like Beavis and Butthead type deal where it's just stupid humor. Peter Samedi asked me the other day and asked me if it was like a buddy cop kind of comic book, where like it's like a comedy and they're like a buddy cop deal, like a Beverly Hills Cop or whatever, like something like that. I was like, no, they hate each other and fucking Weaponized Werewolf is trying to kill them. It's not a So from the cover, I thought that was kind of obvious. It looks like the werewolf's coming at them. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like they're buddies, but yeah, my mouth is getting really dry now. It's in Colorado. That's one thing about Colorado, man, is it's really dry out here. There's no moisture whatsoever. So you got to constantly either put like chapstick on, or you got to drink water around the clock. Otherwise, your lips will fall fucking off.
Oh, damn.
Because there's no moisture, man. It's like a desert out here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that about Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely feel free to drink. Yeah.
Yep. You hear what's going on now? The Denver Expo. They have some. It's called Pop Culture Classroom, and they're a part of. They used to be a part of the Denver Con, and later on it became the Denver Fan Expo. And then they invited Gina Carrero, or how do you say her name?
Gina Carano.
Carano, and they invited her as a guest for the Denver Fan Expo. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this Pop Culture Classroom says we don't condone them inviting her as a guest, and we're against it. And she can't participate in any of our events at the show. So they're like this nonprofit organization that gives money, puts for kids or something, like comic books, and they like buy comic books or something and they give them to kids or something like that to teach them how to read, and like donations like go towards like, comic books and kids, stuff like that. Okay. And it's supposed to be a good organization, but it's run by, I don't know who, and they're saying, they're starting trouble now, and who knows what's going to happen with this whole thing. It's blowing up on Twitter right now. There's like hundreds of people sticking up for Gina on Twitter and going after Pop Culture Classroom. I'm staying out of it, you know what I mean? But if worst comes to worst, I'll fucking boycott the convention, you know what I mean? I don't like censorship. I'm not against I'm against canceling anybody, you know what I mean? Same. Unless they're like a pedophile or some crazy shit, some crazy circumstance. But I'm against canceling. I'm against, censorship, stuff like that. But my comics don't really it has like one swear word in my comic, a little bit of gore, some marijuana use. So NC-17 would be my rating for my books.
No, all right. That's a good question to get answered. I'm sure a lot of people want to know that too. So that's cool.
You guys know everything now.
Got to the top secret information. So everybody who, if you haven't already, back this book. Looks like a great campaign. Lots of great swag to go with it. If you've already backed, thank you very much for your support. Even if you have backed already, consider backing again. You know, there's always birthday parties and holidays to get copies of the books for your loved ones, friends, and family.
Yeah, I've had a couple people actually do that. They backed a couple times.
Awesome. Back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady. If by chance you don't have the means to do so at this time, please consider sharing it all over social media. Let's get more eyeballs on this campaign. So it gets a big boost into
retweets
too. What was that?
Retweets.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you can't, there's a lot of competition out there. You know, your dollar can only go so far. You can only back so many campaigns. I understand that. So just give me a retweet or something. You know what I mean?
Right on.
Give me some love.
And I'm gonna give you the floor. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Justin Belmont with _ between Justin and Belmont.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
My lips are falling off, man.
And as usual, you can find me at my usual haunts. I'm on Twitter at WyzGyzTweets, on Twitch at WyzGyz Entertainment, and all one word, and on YouTube, WyzGyz Entertainment. But make sure that WyzGyz is one word, WYZGYZ. Otherwise, it'll be hard to find me. Thank you all for joining us. Please like, comment, subscribe, mark the bell for notifications. And subscribe if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate it. We're creeping on up. And thank you all for joining us. We shall see you on the next stream. Bye.
Later.
Final guest is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube sensation. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.